Do you know it's really not easy to sit and say that your whole family is trying to kill you, trying to put an end to your life for something as cheap as money. The thing is, it's how this evil can spread. The larger the amount of money, the more people they can involve. And this has got so stupid crazy. And the thing is, I didn't even think it was my family that started it. I wasn't aware of it until my ex tried to kill me, left me with brain damage. Luckily, there's no side effects from it. I was told I would suffer fits and blackouts and I might lose the sight in my right eye. But, yeah, God has had his hand on my life in an incredible way. When my ex attacked me, he wasn't even angry. It was so obvious, it was planned, it was cold, it was calculated. He waited till I was in bed with my eyes shut and bam. Tried to strangle me and beat me to death at the same time. I got out of that literally by the hand of God. But when I left him that night, or the next day, because I spent a night in A&E, yeah, once I got back to London, I started thinking, and, 2 people just died the week before me. Just died. I don't know who one of them was, but I know one of them, I just took her shopping the day before. And somebody called me up when I was in London to ask me how I was. She was the only person. And it was just this little woman who had very, very obvious spinal problems and deformities. Regardless, she always had a smile on her face. Somebody who lives with pain and always smiling, always dancing. She was so funny. And she rang me up to find out how I was. And then the next day, my ex is talking to me on Facebook and tells me she just died last night. Well, I was talking to her that night. Then I asked a friend of mine if this is sometime later. And I asked her to help me because I had this terrible hacking problem. I mean, literally every single device I got, they was in it. They was talking to me. They was deleting my apps. They was adding apps, deleting my files. I wasn't even allowed to have a picture. All my family pictures and my kids, my grandkids, everything. Destroyed the whole lot. And I asked this girl to help me, and she said she would. And she died of an overdose 2 weeks later. And I remember telling my mum, and as I told my mum, she said to me, "Oh, it wasn't Dave." And I looked at her and I went, "Do you know what? I didn't think it was." But then I had to think. I mean, it wasn't long after that, it was very obvious that my mum was involved in it. I've been, literally for the past 5 years now, I've had attacks coming out of absolutely everywhere. People stalking, following me. I went to Luton, Bedford. I had people trying to kill me. I mean, coming towards me with a knife, you know, and obvious things like that. God always made a way. Absolutely made a way every single time. But then I realised when I was with my ex, the amount of times I got ill. And, you know, it was obvious that he was cheating on me. And I was looking for a way to leave anyway, to be honest. And I was actually quite surprised how I kept waking up every morning. And then I found out, you know, it wasn't just my ex hunting me down or getting people to hunt me down, or my mum, my brother, my uncles, cousins. Well, literally everybody. It was his girlfriend. Totally obsessed, crazy, fanatical girlfriend who spent, it's got to be nearly every waking hour, talking to me on my phone, to a hacking, you know, not on literal texts, but yeah, I mean, sometimes just wrote straight across the screen on a Google site. And she told me that he was drugging me every night and they were raping me. Him and his friends. Like the most disgusting, sick, twisted thing I ever knew. And that they had hidden cameras everywhere. And that she'd made movies. That they had an actual series going on. And then she was telling me everything I was doing in my home. Even to what I had in my fridge. And blackmail started with saying she's going to show this film and that film, and or she is, and how much money they made, and 2 million views, and how they're making so much money. I've had people trying to run me off the road. I go to the police, and the police just want to lock me up in hospital. They won't even give me a crime reference number. In fact, the police have actually abducted me 4 times and dragged me into hospital. So going to the police isn't really the thing to do. And I think with this new government thing for this money they're putting towards people with depression to stop the suicides and all that. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think they do enough to stop suicides. I mean, the only things they can do that is more is to take somebody before they're depressed. It would be to invade their privacy. It would be to give them help before they want it. And you think about it. I mean, how can you do more for somebody who wants to take their life? Because trust me, if somebody wants to take their life, they will. But I do have to state 100%, I am not suicidal. Nor are my children, nor my grandchildren. I've had threats they're going to kill my sons if I speak. They told me my eldest son is going to have a drug overdose if I speak. And I've stayed silent now for a few weeks. But the threats don't stop. It's continuous. So where I was fighting and I was doing everything in my power to stop what was going on, I had to give it a little bit more thought. And whenever I sat down and thought about it, the only way I can stop it, the only way I can fight it, is to talk about it. Nothing's going to change unless something changes. And, you know, they're not going to stop. And God has brought me this far, which is a long way. This is 5 years of daily attacks, daily attempts on my life. You know, hospitals trying to wipe my memory. People hunting me down all around the UK. I mean, even in Scotland. I escaped to Scotland and I still got abducted from my hotel by the police. Locked up in a hospital where they were giving me medication to strip me of my memory. They were going to transfer me right back to St Pancras. I have no mental disorders. I do not suffer from depression. I have no anxiety. I have no anxiety despite people trying to kill me. Just a need to be very mindful of what I'm doing, what I'm saying, where I'm going. But I think, you know, when you live in London, maybe you should do that anyway. But yeah, something has to stop this. And me being silent, it's not going to stop. And they have proved 100% that me being silent isn't stopping them in any way, shape or form. I'm not protecting anybody by being silent. And in fact, I'm just showing a weakness that they're going to jump on and attack even more. So, no, I can't give in to that. I can't give in to their threats. I mean, even when I was, you know, I was looking for somewhere that might be safe, and I sort of figured that being around people is when I'm going to be the most safest. But it doesn't take long for them to infiltrate the people that I'm with and pay them off, and especially if they don't know me too well anyway. It's no love lost, is it? and I was protesting the high-speed train to Birmingham. You know, the massive rip-off from the government, giving all this money to a private company to steal people's homes, destroy the landscape, you know, using public money for their own private train. You know, they admit, you know, normal people ain't even going to be able to use it. They just got to pay for it. So I was there and I was living in a tent and I was being attacked all the time. And then by the time I see who it was that was involved, they left. And there never seemed to be a reason to go. And I felt safer there. Passers-by, people going to the train station. You know, it's during lockdown, but it was probably one of the busiest places in London. And I just thought, you know, the police aren't going to do anything for me. But if other people see it, if other people see them attacking me, then maybe they will have to do something. I was really badly attacked, quite a lot of times. Drugged, raped, beaten. Monitoring devices burnt into my skin so they know where I am wherever I go. I don't know if you can see them from there. It's all over me. Burns, scars, my hair. You can see things in my face. My face is so badly scarred. They put battery acid and things like that in my face. Attacked me every chance they got. It was only God keeping me going. I've been to nearly every town and city in the UK, apart from Wales. I didn't go to Wales. And been attacked, abducted, drugged, attacked in nearly every hotel that I've stayed at. And all the time, still cameras on me. Still filming my every move. Can't go to the bathroom without being filmed in every detail. And to think, you know, I had social workers getting involved, crisis team. These are hunting me down. The police. My doctor's surgery, messing about with my medical records and giving them to whoever wanted them. And to think my mum was involved in this stuff. And actually, it started with her. I didn't know it was this inheritance that she had stolen years before that. And yeah, I'm still followed. But God continues to keep me safe. The involvement from local council, and indeed government involvement. I mean, it couldn't have been done without government involvement. This is, I mean, it's just unbelievable that my small little life, which I love, would be the target of so many people. Because of my family's greed and jealousy of me. Because this was given to me. They would pay the whole world, but they would never help me. I would have done anything for my family. I don't know about anything. I've done everything for them. My nan dies suspiciously through COVID. And like I said, my friend Rosemary. And at the HS2 camp, or stop HS2 camp, people went missing there. I mean, they was digging a hole, supposedly, to protest. They were going to bury themselves in there. But deep down I knew that was for me. And I had so much going on with being attacked so often, I didn't give much thought to the fact that they filled in the hole and then started digging it just about 5 foot away. As to why. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. But people who I speak to or do not comply with them disappear. This world has become a very dark place. And the police in London have been very obviously like paid mercenaries for a long time now. I mean, there has been some improvement. There has. But then I suppose they have to make it look like there is. Whether there is or not, whoa, I don't know. But they haven't made obvious attempts on me. But I do know, I'm continuously getting threats, so I know they haven't stopped. Not from the police. I do want to make that clear. I don't get threats from the police. They more like to get you by surprise. But, yeah, my ex just will not give up. He just will not leave me alone. Him and his girlfriends. All the girls that he bought with my money. But yeah, these things needed to be said. And it does need to be known that I'm not suicidal. I do not suffer anxiety or depression. And that really does need to be emphasised and stated, because I know that is what they're going to use to get me, or they want to. It makes it all so tidy, where they're pretending to help you with a smile on their face while they're drugging you and rinsing your memory. I mean, it's only, I don't know, a week or so ago, the police was at my old address harassing my son, telling me that the social services in the hospital are concerned about me. Really? This really needs to stop. And this really needs some awareness. So if you can do whatever you can to spread this about. This isn't just me. This is my family. This is my sons. This is my grandchildren. Not only that, it's not only us. There is lots of wealthy women that their husbands or their partners have had enough of. And they want a fresher, younger model, but they don't want to let go of the money. And there's deals like this going on constantly. I mean, don't ever, ever wish to be a millionaire and allow this to be going on, where people who are wealthy are being attacked and robbed by the same people that should be protecting and caring. I think it was Martin Luther King said, an attack on one person, on one person's freedoms, is an attack on everyone's. So yeah, share, like, subscribe for the next episode. You never know what update's going to come up next. I have had to start a new channel because I have this severe hacking problem. I don't get any financial help for these things. I've put out loads of videos, but it's finding them. Mostly they're shadow banned straight away. But yeah, get this out there, share it about, like, subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more chance I have of being able to go live if something happens. And yeah, you get an update on the, you get a notification on the next installment. Peace.